I spent Thanksgiving weekend with Kevin and Pallavi and Kai, and I love hanging out with Kevin and Pallavi and just talking to them about like life and work, especially because I think Pallavi, she's just really good at working. She's like an amazing software engineer. She's really good at just like doing her job and she loves it too. And I feel like I like talking to Kevin because I think he's a lot more like me and thinks a lot similarly to me, but he's like older than me a little bit. I think is better at like work and playing the game. And it's also just like me, but like two steps ahead. And I think I just like hearing his perspective, especially. I was talking to them about how it's been since I've joined this new team in this entirely new space and how I just feel super not confident, super like I'm an imposter. And it's just been really hard for me to kind of, I don't know, feel like I can do it because all I do is just compare myself to other people, especially these other girls that I've worked with that are like a little bit younger than me. I feel like they're on the same track as me, but they've done everything that I can do but better. And I just super like envy them and super compare myself to them. And it's like I know that there are people that are going to do things better than you and like someone's always going to be better. And I don't know, age like doesn't really matter, but to me like for some reason it's like if I'm older I feel like I should be better at things, which is like a silly fallacy, I know. It's just like I went to Berkeley, I studied computer science, and then they're younger than me and they did the same thing, and now I'm running into them in this like education equity space and at work, and I just feel like oh my god, they're like doing everything that I can do but better. So it's like everything is meaningless because why am I here if like anytime we do something, they can just like do it better than I can. I was telling them I feel like all that I've done in my career so far is just like fail over and over again. I feel like I'm just jealous of other people where it seems like they live this perfect life, they never fail, they do everything good and well, and I know that that's not true, and I know that they failed, and I know that they've learned and made mistakes. It just seems like they've been privileged to like have better experiences than I've had in my past and in my career. And I'm just like jealous of that, even though I know that like I don't know their story and that might not even be the case. Like they might feel exactly the same way as I do, but I don't know. I'm just like looking back at my life and I'm like, there's no way that they've been in these situations that I've been in that I've just sucked so bad. So, for example, if I were to just go over my whole work journey so far, which I love to do every once in a while because I just always go in these modes of like crises, like, what do I do with my life? Interned at Workday, didn't get a return offer, and that was like the first time I really felt like I'd failed, is because I always thought it was really hard to just not get a return offer if you just like did your work well, because that's supposed to be a space where you're just like learning. And I don't know, I'm like, if I worked hard and I did what I needed to do, like why am I failing? So anyways, that happened. Then Lob, I get fired. I got put on PIP in the first year, got off of it, but then after the end of my second year, I got fired. And then I went to Replica, didn't even make it a full year. I was really determined to just, I don't know, have like a really good manager, have a good relationship with them, and sought out this female manager. And I felt like I was just like putting on this whole persona that wasn't me, and like really tried to like kiss ass, like be who she wanted me to be. And I just, after 6 months, couldn't put on the facade. Like, I couldn't deal with it. So I ended up just like spending the next month arguing with her, really standing up for myself and what I believed in, and like said what I wanted to say. And then I got put on PIP, and I was just like, okay, I can't handle this. And I left. Then I was like, okay, let me join a really big company. Got an offer at Google, worked there. I felt like I really excelled my first year and a half because I was so determined to just like do a good job and really, I don't know, like have a good career or just feel like I could do my job well. And so I got promoted. And then the next year I was like, okay, I feel like everyone trusts me. Everyone believes that I can do this work. I don't know. I guess it just like wasn't enough because I kept getting new managers, things kept changing. I felt like people could trust me because I developed this like reputation and credibility and rapport. It just wasn't enough. And so I didn't work on the most impactful things. I didn't make my work visible enough. I just wasn't going to meetings because I just thought people trusted me and I did enough to make myself look good that I thought if I just said I was doing my work, people would believe me, but I just like wasn't giving enough good updates. Yeah, wasn't going to meetings. People thought I wasn't doing my work, and then I got a bad review. Tried to reconcile things, and I think that went really well. And now I'm on this rotation with another team, which I feel like I only got this opportunity because I was able to like reconcile things with my manager, and people, I don't know, really like, I think value me at work now. I'm a little bit. But since joining this new team, I feel like I'm just starting over. Like everything is really new to me. The whole space and work and how I talk to people, how I do everything is just so new. And like, just like in the DEI space, education equity space, I just feel like a huge imposter. It's just like I care about the same things and I'm passionate about the same things, but the way that I like view things and approach things, it just seems so different than everyone else there. And maybe that's more in my head than it is true, but it just like makes me less confident. So then when I see these girls that are really badass, like software engineers and leaders, just do all the things that I can do but better, it's just like really gets to me because I'm already feeling like really not confident in this space. Like I really feel like they're awesome and I really love to see all these like software engineer women excel and succeed. Like why can't I do the same thing? Like why can't I be as good as them? And I know everyone's or there's always going to be someone better than you, but it's just like so much comparing myself to them. And I don't know. It's like not even a software engineer space, you know? Like I feel like in that regard, I'm like, okay, I know I can't be the best software engineer, but it's like in this space, I feel like I could be better and I could be one of the best. And I could be one of those women software engineers that like really tries to use her technical experience to like make a difference in this world. And it's just like, fuck it. Like it's just meaningless. Like they can do it better than me. So why should I even try? I don't know. Like they're great TAs and teachers and leaders and they like lead hackathons and like do all these things and I'm like I don't know, like I would just never be interested in doing that. And I don't like go and read articles about things that is like the way that AI is changing education or like how we can be more innovative in the space or like how we can like change CS curriculum. Like I feel like they're thinking about these things, like so many people are thinking about these things, but I'm not. And I just I don't know, like I know that I have my own unique voice and I can contribute in some way, but it's just like when I see them and all these other extraordinary people do these things, I'm like fuck, like I can never be them, so why even try? This is the same way I feel about like volleyball or like sports or all these other things. When I see other people that are better, I'm like, I can never be as good. And so I'm like, why do I even try? Why do I even bother? And the same thing where when other people see that nobody knows shit, everyone's just faking it. Like, for some reason, instead of that encouraging me and being like, oh, if they can do it, I can do it too, it's more like, oh well shit, like they just have a better attitude and mentality than I do and I'll never have that kind of like attitude or confidence that like a lot of CEOs or like leaders have. I'm just like, okay, why even bother? Why even try? You know, because it's just like I can't do it. But Kevin was telling me that it's not that I can't do it. It's just like I'm not as practiced in it. Like I just don't have as much practice doing it as all these other people. So all I have to do is just practice. That's literally all it is. Like I really feel like if you feel like you can do it and you're empowered to do it, you can do anything. And so the way that other people just instill confidence in themselves, like I wish I could just do that. And I think I can. It's just I have to practice it and I have to know that like I can be more confident. I can like do these things. It just like takes work and takes time and I have to be willing to invest that. And a part of me thinks that that's what I want. But really, what I want is to just optimize for the life that I want, which is just like being able to work remote or play pickleball in the mornings and then go to work really late at like 10 or like have all this time to do all these other things I want to do, like all these other hobbies like sports and stuff. And that's what I should be optimizing for instead of trying to like put time into like work. Like Kevin was telling me that other girls probably look at me and they're like, wow, I wish I was as naturally like athletic as Jessica or I could play pickleball or tennis or do all these sports like she can. And it's just, I've just spent so much time doing these things that I feel like now it's just like I'm never like a true beginner at badminton or like all these other sports because I've had so much practice like doing these other things. And it's the same thing. Like maybe these girls dedicated more of their life being like a TA in college or like did all these other things that made them as good as they are at work today. And it's the same thing. Like they're not naturally better. They just have had more practice. The same way I'm not naturally athletic. I've just like maybe practiced a little bit more. And so it's just like when you start something, you're going to be bad at it. So just accept that you're going to be bad and like practice it and do it if it's something that you care about. So one, it's like determining what I care about. And then two, like putting in the effort, knowing that I'm not going to be the best. There are other people that are going to do things better than me. Accept that and move on, you know? Like they are like these girls that I'm envying and comparing myself to, like they are going to be better than me. Period. Right? Like if we both progress and put in the same amount of time, like they're gonna be better than me. What I need to do is just accept that. Don't sulk and be like, okay, I suck. I'm not naturally as good as them. Like, whatever. And just like move on and like get better if that's what I want. And I think what I want to do is really just like be confident in myself. Like, that's really the baseline, what I think I need to do. And yeah, I can tell myself to believe in myself, but like, I don't think that that's how the world works. Is just if you tell yourself that like to try harder to feel better, that's not going to happen. So I need to find ways where I can like be more confident in myself. And I think like dancing is just one of those things where it's like I feel like I can't do it, but really like I just need to practice more. And I think if I can like put on this persona and like do this, I can get better at it and feel more confident, and I'll be able to do it. And I feel like I was telling Kevin and Pallavi, like I just love being like my true genuine self, but I can never like act or improvise or go to a foreign country and speak that language because I feel like I'm just not being myself and I'm posing as someone that I'm not. And I need to like not think that way. Like I should just try to like be confident, speak whatever language. I should try to go and dance full out and be who I want to be, and just like think less about, I don't know, like who I am and who I'm trying to be and whatever, and just like do whatever makes me feel like I can be more confident in myself and put myself in these situations that are uncomfortable, but just learn and practice to be confident in those situations, even if I'm new to it. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think that's what I want to try to do. And like literally just like keep faking it until it becomes more natural to me. I feel like I heard this one speech where it's like you can't fake it because people will see through that bullshit. And I don't know, it's like I believe that, but at the same time it's like you have to start somewhere, right? And so I think if I just start off doing something and I'm just bad at it, and if that thing is like being more confident in myself, like I just have to practice to get better and do it. Like I can't, there's no like naturally good at something. Like I feel like you all start at zero, and it's like how much time you invest in it, you'll get better at it. And it's just like all about like figuring out what you want to spend your time doing. All of that is to say, instead of saying I can't do this because I'm not like this way or I'm not built this way, or the things just don't come naturally to me like this and I don't want to do it, like say, like just tell myself like I'm not practiced at it, but if this is something I care to get better at, then put in the work, put in the effort, and you will get better. All it takes is like effort and time. And this has definitely been a theme of mine where I feel like things will not just fall into my lap. Like, yeah, like sometimes I can get lucky, but ultimately, like if there's something that I want, it's gonna take like time and hard work and effort. And maybe like I've grown up thinking that I can put in a little bit of time, and if it's fruitful enough, then I'll do it. But now it's like, okay, like if you're really gonna try to do something, like invest in it, right? Like same thing with like buying clothes. I used to buy like the cheapest shit because I was like, oh, it works and it's cheap and I like it, but those things don't last. And also maybe you put in enough time where it's like, okay, that's good enough. I don't really care to like go any farther or do any more. But now it's like, okay, if I really, really want to like invest in something, then like put in the work to do it. I'm like trying to think of like the graph or the curve where it's like, yeah, like linear versus like exponential growth is gonna like take a lot of time in the beginning, but like eventually you're gonna like have the payoffs from it and all the work you did. Whereas like I feel like I've always been like at this like linear mindset where like, yeah, I put in this amount of work and sometimes I'll get like more out of it than like what I put in, and that's great. And I'm trying to like cheat the system and play the game and cheat the game or whatever. I can't talk anymore, but yeah, I feel like now it's like, okay, just put in the work if it's something that you care about. Okay, the last thing I'll say is a lot of the times with like volleyball or pickleball, I'm like, okay, yeah, someone will always be better than me, but who cares, right? It's like just something you do for fun. But now at work, it's like when I see people that are better than me and I'm trying to like get into this field or get this job or whatever, to me it's really deterring. But I feel like my mentality should again be like, who cares if they're better? Like, they picked me. I'm in the position that I'm in, right? Like, make the most of the situation. And even if they are better, so what? Like, learn from them, try to be like them, try to emulate them. And I can get to where I want to be if I just put in the work. And yeah, it's just like, why? Like, it's fine. Like, who cares if they're better? You also add value to the table. You can bring so much to the table. Like, you think of things in your own way and just be confident in that and be confident in yourself. Trust yourself and know that, like, you can add some sort of value and you can provide a lot too. But I think really what I need to think about is what I really truly want versus what I think I want. And do I care enough about work to be like these girls? Or do I really just want to optimize for all the other things I care about? Okay, I'm gonna stop talking and figure out what I'm doing now. But yeah, more thinking will be done later. Okay, bye.